Hi everyone, welcome to A Chandler's Channel. I'm Tracy and I'm your host, and what I do on my channel is I provide readings from my Spirit Guide Whitehawk, and the readings range on everything from a weekly reading to a monthly reading to various topics. For instance, we've done a spring equinox reading, we've done an Easter reading, and we've done a bullion reading. And our next reading will be on the topic of social media. But today's topic is our weekly reading for April 1st to 7th, 2013. And I keep wanting to say 2010, and I don't know why, but it's for April 1st to 7th, 2013. We did do our first monthly reading for April 1st, for the month of April, and I have a feeling that this video is going to be full of blubs, but if I don't just let it be, I'll never get my video done. So visit April 2013's reading that we did, and leave me a comment as to how your April is shaping up compared to that reading, as well as last week's reading that Whitehawk did for us. It was about the week being erratic and not being able to catch our breath to about Friday. Well, I'll tell you, I'm still trying to catch my breath from last week, so I'm very interested in knowing what Whitehawk has to say about this week, because certainly his reading very much reflected what my life was like last week. So let's get started, because I can talk a lot. So let's get started and get to Whitehawk and see what he has to say about the week of April 1st to 7th, 2013. Ah, yes, he says, the week ahead. Well, he says, I can tell you this, Tracy. It won't be as disastrous, he says, as last week was for some. He says, for indeed, the week very much was disastrous for many, he says. But I will say that the week ahead, still, he says, you won't be able to catch your breath. And that's very much how I feel right at this moment, giving this reading, and even before I came in to do this reading. So I kind of thought, he goes, well, then it was very good of you to pay attention to your intuition, he says, that the energies, he says, are still very much coming through from the spring equinox, he says, and so they are creating this erraticness. So to look at the week ahead, he says, is to see once again erraticness and an inability to get a hold of our breath. But it will be less than the previous week. But we're all going, yeah, right, because, I can hardly catch my breath today. He goes, I promise you, he says, it will not be so bad as it was last week. But the other thing, he says, I want you to pay attention to this week, he says, is how you're feeling. Pay attention, he says, because there's a lot of sadness out there. So he says, among all the erraticness and the busyness and the inability to catch your breath, you feel sad. And I myself, Tracy, here, as I'm channeling this for you, I feel the sadness coming through. Indeed, sadness. There is so much sadness out there, he says. It makes me sad. He says, and so take that sadness, and I want you to tap into it. And I want you to go into the sadness, he says. Just take a moment, go into that sadness, and ask it why it has arrived, he says. Listen, ask. And you will be amazed, he says, what answers you will receive. And when you receive your answer, he says, thank it, he says. Be grateful. Thank it for having been there, for speaking with you, for talking with you is what he's trying to convey. And he says yes. And you'll notice that the sadness may dissipate a bit, may disappear a bit, because you gave it voice. That's right. He says, sometimes when we listen to that which is going on in our body, and we give it voice, it leaves us, because we gave it the attention it was seeking. Sometimes all our body does is it wants to be heard. Our emotions, he says, want to be known. And when we give it its time and space, it leaves us. But if we do not give it its time and space, it stays with us. Aha, he says. So not only did you think you were coming here for a weekly reading of the energies, but I have given you a lesson, he says, in listening to what your body has to say to you. It says trust it, instinct, intuition. Trust it. It says, be blessed, little ones. Thank you for coming here this week. Be blessed. God bless. Well, that was our weekly reading for April 1st to 7th. Looks like we got some work to do. Looks like we have some homework to do to tap into that sadness that we may feel, or any other emotion that we may feel today. And I certainly hope I'm able to catch my breath. So leave a comment. Let me know how your week has shaped up. Let me know if you've gone into that sadness or that any other emotion or pain or feeling your body is giving you. What did it have to say, and how did it come to you? Also, subscribe and like. So our next video will be on social media, and that should be up in the next few days or so, although I'm kind of a day off, like I said, with the Easter weekend. So God bless. Thanks for joining me in Whitehawk, and we'll see you next time.